Um, I definitely listened to the recording. I did forget everything that happened in the first half just now. It just left my brain. I don't remember. All I remember is you guys having dinner with everyone. um, but okay, yeah, before that it was mostly you guys had just talked to Anders, I think. So you and Corey left to go back to um, the Crown's Guard to talk to Aurelia. Oh yeah, first Ophelia had a long conversation with Corey, where you sort of tried to figure out if she would be at all interested in joining the Cobalt Soul, and she seemed. Once you kind of got into it and explained a little more, she seemed like tentatively interested. And then you went back to talk to Aurelia. She decided that she needed to ask the Watchmaster and the other city authorities about what to do about Andres. She didn't want to make that decision by herself. And that was vetoed. So you are not offering Anders any kind of deal for his testimony. The Watchmaster and the Starosta were confident that they could arrest Petrov. You did. Arrest Petrov based on Felix and Heydrich's word, which was confirmed by Sia Kresh. So after all that was sorted out, Aurelia went with the Watchmaster to arrest Petrov. You guys were not invited. So Sia Kresh invited herself over to dinner at the Knox house. Yeah. um, you also invited Corey, but she wanted to go check in on Victor first. So you guys went back to the house. Acacia had been informed that she was exonerated of the possibility of having set fire to the mine. So that was very exciting. But she's still concerned about the possibility that the current head of the mining guild was Petrov Sauer's partner in crime during all of this. And she has no proof of that. So that is something that may have to be dealt with later. Ophelia went to Victor's place with Corey, healed him a little bit, talked to him a little, invited him over for dinner also. Both he and Corey agreed to come. And then you guys all had dinner at the Knox, which was very pleasant. And Ophelia, you also talked to Victor about maybe joining the Cobalt Soul, and he also seemed kind of interested. Maybe a little more skeptical than Corey, but not like 100% against the idea. Oh, and you called Torkel to ask him if it was okay for you to just bring two criminals that you befriended to the Cobalt Soul for job interviews. And he said it was fine. So, and Ophelia, you also called Hannelore before you went to bed by ascending to check and see if she had managed to get home all right. And she said yes, she was fine. She had gone back to the capital. Yeah, that's about it. And you guys all went to bed and leveled up to 6.
Yay!
Does everybody finish leveling?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yes.
Okay. Just give everybody a quick little summary of the new stuff you got.
I think I just got expertise on a couple more things. Pretty sure that's all that happened. So it's stealth and persuasion. So I don't fail any more checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I guess hit points.
Hooray. Nice. You have so much mind reading now. Nice.
Nice.
Right.
um, let's see. Yes. So my health leveled up, obviously. I get tool expertise now. So my proficiency bonus doubles for any ability check that I do, I guess, to use my proficiency with a tool. So I
Okay.
guess if I have to pick a lock or something, or
Okay.
carve something, I'll be good
Nice.
at it.
What tools are you proficient with?
Let's see. A bunch actually.
Okay.
Alchemist supplies. I have smith's tools. I have thieves' tools, tinker's tools, and woodcarver's tools. So I can
Nice.
carve and craft many things.
All right.
Let's see. And then, importantly, I have new infusions now. Um, and the one that I am excited about is the homunculus servant.
Yes.
So now I can create a little tiny construct. I think we're gonna sort of flavor it like I've hacked the mainframe of this crab and
Yes.
finally made it do what I want it to do. So now, yeah, I can kind of move 'em around. I guess on the one hand, like it has a little bit of like a basic attack, but I think the valuable thing is gonna be that it can deliver a spell that has like a range of touch if it's within 20 feet of me,
Yeah.
within
Nice.
120 feet of me. So if somebody goes down, I can just send the crab over to cure wounds.
I love it.
That's great. Okay. Ooh, and you can heal it with the mending cantrip.
I can, yeah.
Professional
Great.
scuttler.
Okay. Um, is that something, is there like any mechanical time that it takes to create the homunculus? Or is it just kind of.
Let's see. Okay, so it's whenever I finish a long rest, I can, I guess, imbue something with my artificer infusion. And then I think it just remains in the item indefinitely. So hypothetically, the crab is just always my buddy.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say you wake up the next morning, Antimony, in your childhood bedroom with all of the little scraps and half finished projects and things that you left behind when you went to school. And you are inspired. You see some stuff that you think might be useful, and you just start tinkering with the crab. And after like an hour or two, you've figured some stuff out. You had a little bit of an epiphany, and now this crab is going to be more useful to you.
I've leveled up my friendship with the crab.
Yes. Does the crab have a name yet?
Oh boy. I feel like we had tentatively decided to call him Felix Jr. or something.
That's right.
Out of like our love for the wizard.
That did get thrown out. Yeah, that suggestion got put forth.
I feel like it might kind of be like a Jason Funderburker situation where we
Mhm.
just name him after our favorite NPC of the arc.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
we get to learn who Antimony has a crush on by what the crab is named.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, so you have a very pleasant morning crafting and improving upon the Vox Seeker, the crab. Anybody else want to do anything specific right away? First thing in the morning.
Ophelia is enjoying having her room to herself.
Yep. What a good feeling. Okay, yeah, so you guys, you get up, you have breakfast with Antimony's family and Adakora's family. Cassia is like she's kind of back in her like work mode. Like she has a bunch of papers and stuff at the table with her as she eats. Um, you guys get down there and she's like already starting to kind of pack her stuff up and head out. And yeah, she sees you all and she says, "Oh, good. Um, well, I'm allowed back in the guild house now, so I'm going to go and help with the investigation, and also I have to sort some things out at the mines. Um, let me know. Well, if you need me, I'll probably be at the guild hall, and if I'm not at the guild hall, I'll be at one of the mines. Just don't, don't leave without telling me or anything."
Right.
We're not planning to leave immediately,
Okay, good.
but you are right back to work, huh?
Well, there's a lot more going on than I thought there was.
Oh, you can say that again.
She gives her daughter and her stepson a little kiss on the cheek, and also Taito.
And also her husband, I guess.
Also her husband, I guess. Yeah. And she heads
So you're
out.
allowed to kiss on the lips now. You're married.
So Taito was like, "Don't be out too late." As she's leaving, he's like, "Okay, I have got to convince her to go on vacation because this has been a really stressful week."
She agreed to go to Comorta, didn't she?
Yes, but we didn't buy carriage tickets or anything yet. So, but yes, I'm as soon as she will go to Comorta, I am dragging her to Comorta. She does not need to solve every problem in the mining guild herself.
She's been missing out for so long.
Yeah, what? 3 days?
It's only been 3 days. God,
I don't know. It has not been that long. 4 days maybe since she was accused of a crime.
God.
I don't know how long it's been. I haven't looked at the timeline in a while. Anyway, what do the three of you have planned for today? We haven't gotten any news about uh, the investigation since last night. Don't know what happened with Petrov, if they arrested him or not.
well, I'd like to talk to Aurelia about that. See what she's willing to tell us.
All right. Let me know what you find out. I never liked that guy very much.
Oil barons aren't for liking, they're just sort of there.
That's true.
If you ever make the turn to detective fiction, now you have some experience.
You know, I had a detective phase before you were born.
I bet that alias is dead. You can't
Oh
just,
yeah.
oh, he's back.
No, I
He's
would
back
have
and
to.
he's better than ever.
I would have to create a new one or pretend to be his son or something. But I mean, I would hope that if I went back to writing mysteries, I would be much better at it than I was 150 years ago. I like to think I've refined my craft a little since then.
It's gone so many different directions. I, maybe you've refined some aspects of it.
Well, I suppose that's the best I'm going to get out of you.
You know I don't read. It's not your fault.
I can't believe I raised a son who doesn't read. All right, well, don't get into any trouble today.
Us trouble. So, all right, let's go.
Ophelia, like, you're not my dad. You're just my friend's dad.
Besides, there's no trouble left for us. We've already fought all the criminals in this town at this point.
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
Everybody got involved.
Okay. Okay, so you guys just head out to find Aurelia?
Yeah, I guess if we're gonna find her, probably the easiest place to go would be the guard headquarters.
Yeah, if she's not there, they probably know where she went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. Okay, so you head to the Crown's Guard headquarters. It's comparatively quiet here today. The last time you were here, there were like a bunch of extra people because like the half of the city council was here trying to figure out what to do about this interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just kind of the normal number of guards here today. The watchmasters here. You don't see Aurelia when you come in, but the watchmaster will tell you that she is back at her. Aurelia's back at her inn where she was staying.
I guess we'll go there unless anyone wants to poke around here and
Mm, I mean, unless the Watchmaster has any news for us, I suppose.
yeah, because the watchmaster. Well, we could ask him. Her. Was it him or her? I
It's
forget.
her. Yeah, her.
Her.
Quinn. Quinn Theramast. Yeah, she's not volunteering any information, but you are welcome to ask.
I don't even know what this. How did the arrest go?
How to
man?
phrase this, right?
Yeah. So,
Really?
Hmm. um, will ask when Aurelia was last here. Like if she left, if she was there all night, or she left after the arrest, whatever.
she was here briefly earlier this morning to collect Felix.
Mm.
He's uh, well, he's been transferred to her custody officially as a representative of the Cerberus Assembly. But that was the last time I saw her.
Thank you. I guess we'll go.
Okay.
To her. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you go back to the inn where she was staying. And yeah, if you go up to her room, do you like knock or do you just open the
I'll
door?
knock.
Kick the door in.
Kick the door down.
I
Yeah,
also don't have the key to her room.
well, that's true. Just try the door, see if it's unlocked. Okay, yeah, you knock, and Aurelia answers the door.
Morning.
Morning. Why? Yeah, come in. She lets you all in. She is in the room. So is Felix. He's just kind of chilling there. It looks like they were eating breakfast like in the room.
Felix seems to be taking imprisonment remarkably well at this point.
Yeah, you see that he has his stuff back. He has like his spell book and all the stuff that they took from him when he was at the guard house. Except for you still have that moss. He's like, one of those damn Crownsguard took my moss. Why would they want my moss anyway? I spent a long time looking for that moss. He probably bitched about that to Aurelia when they got back, and she was like, "Look, I don't know how to help you."
What spell does that even go to?
I don't remember.
What's he gonna need moss for in prison?
It did go with a spell, but I cannot recall which one. I would have to look at Felix's stats. Anyway, yeah, he doesn't look super happy, but he's just here. He's not like, he looks resigned. I guess.
I mean, that's been his last 4 days.
It really has, yeah.
He's had some time to come to terms with it at this point.
Right. It's like, what's he gonna do? Kill Aurelia? He doesn't even know if he could. It would be close. In a fight between the two of them.
Yeah.
Right, and then he's
Not
wanted for
worth it.
murder, and then the Cerberus Assembly is really gonna come down on him for murdering an annex. Like, it's more trouble than it's worth. But yeah, Aurelia's like, okay, we only have one other chair, but you can all like sit on the beds and stuff.
It's fine. I'd probably just stand. It's fine.
Okay.
This is not. We're not in Gnome Town anymore, so I can fit in the room.
Oh yeah, you are. Yep.
How did the arrest go? Did he confess?
Not while I was there, no. the arrest happened. He didn't, try anything. He was just very indignant. But he went along with them. So that was all right. Honestly, I was expecting something crazy to happen, but nothing crazy happened. I'm probably not going to be around for his interrogation. I should probably get back to Rexentrum.
Today?
Well, maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We're going to teleport back, so it won't take long. Your expositor left this morning, so she said she had a lot of business to take care of. So I think they're going to have to get someone else from the capital for the truth magic. It's probably going to take a while, and I also have things to do.
I see.
I don't know. I think the city government probably has things under control from here.
Well, after all that trouble he gave us, I'm just expecting him to blow his way out or something.
I suppose that's always possible. That's true. Oh my god, that's right. There's not a lot of gunpowder around here that you know of.
Well, that's where you wanted to blow your way out.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh boy.
I think they're going to be very careful with him, given everything. Extra security and all that.
Well, something else we can really do about it.
Well, do you think you'll be staying in town much longer?
Honestly, we haven't really talked about it. Probably not too much longer. We were only supposed to be here for the wedding.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we actually don't live here.
I knew that. I was actually, well, I knew you were going to go back to the capital eventually. I'll probably get back before you do, since I'm going to be teleporting possibly
To rub it
today.
in. Thank you.
Um, but I just wanted to let you know that if you'd like, you can come visit me in the city.
Where would we find you exactly?
She hands you a piece of paper with her address written on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's in like the neighborhood that all of the Cerberus Assembly people live in. I don't remember what that neighborhood is, but it's like near the academy, I think. I'm usually pretty busy, but you can send me a note or just stop by, and if I'm not there, leave a message with anybody who is there to give to me. And I can, if you want to meet up, I can find a time that works. Maybe. You kill Aurelia's boss for absolutely no reason.
No reason. Ophelia just really wants to kill a wizard.
I guess.
We've met. All the wizards we've met are people you like.
Except for, well, you didn't really meet Ludinus.
No, we.
You just saw him
Rushed
from a
past him.
distance. Yeah.
He knows our faces.
He probably does.
Yeah, we're not in the city all the time, but we will do that. This has such a like making plans in front of someone who's not invited vibe.
Yeah, I'm
It's
kind of
like-
awkwardly
Felix.
looking at Felix, I think. Like,
Yeah, Felix has his feet up on the table. He's like cleaning under his nails or something. Like he's just kind of.
Do they have criminal wizard rehab for
You don't know. You could.
conditioning? Where is
You
he going?
could- Do you want to ask about it?
No, I don't want to know. Adequate doesn't want to know. This is
Okay,
not gonna help him sleep at night to know.
that's probably true. Yeah.
Anna wants to know, but I'm not asking.
All right. But yeah, if anyone wants to talk to Felix, he's right here.
Yeah, I'll talk to Felix. I'm just gonna be like, so are they carting you off to wizard prison now? Is that a thing?
He looks up at you a little surprised to have been addressed directly, but he says, well, I suppose I'll find out when I get to the capital. He looks at Aurelia. She talked to her boss and convinced her to, I don't know, meet me or something. Aurelia's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much the Baroness can do, but since Felix has been very helpful in all of the investigation that he's been present for, I'm going to talk to her and see what I can do. Maybe he'll, I don't know. The Cerberus Assembly does have prisons, but I don't know much about them. The Baroness isn't really involved with that stuff. but I'm hoping we can avoid that. She kind of looks at Felix.
No.
He sighs, like, yeah, well, I suppose they were going to get their claws on me sooner or later. I was probably making a little too much noise. I shouldn't have taken such high profile criminal jobs in retrospect. But I don't know, maybe they'll give me magical community service or something.
Does this seem to put Antimony at ease?
I don't know. I think she just looks a little sad.
Oh.
It's like a kind of face, that.
Yeah.
That's the face Antimony's making. Yeah, there's kind of a long, awkward silence.
Felix, there's so much I want to know about you, but I don't want to interrogate you in front of the Cerberus Assembly Annex.
Just do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, he can just not answer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I'll just ask him. I mean, how did you get into wizard crimes anyway?
How did you get into wizard crimes? Sorry, I was trying to find the spell that used the moss, but I haven't. Okay, this is silly. I'm gonna do this later. I want to know now.
His backstory. That's how he got into crimes. Now that I've taken boss, he can be reformed.
You stole his moss.
It's like a ring of power. It corrupts.
Yeah. Felix looks at you again like, are you sure you want to know?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. He just nods like, all right. Well, okay, I'm trying to remember, do you recall if Antimony has mentioned anything in front of Felix about being a former Soltris Academy student?
Goodness.
Ooh.
I feel like it easily could have come up, but I have no memory of it, so.
I don't remember either. So go with what would be more interesting for you.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, he looks at you, he's like, all right, you have some arcane training, right?
Yeah, a little.
I mean, it's not really anything I'm familiar with, but it looks like you went to school.
Well, for a little bit, yeah.
Was it in the capital?
Hmm.
Well, I've never actually been to the big school, like the real Soltris Academy, but uh, they've got sort of a secondary campus in Zadash, the Hall of Erudition.
Right. Yeah. I think I've heard about this.
Okay, yeah, you definitely, Antimony definitely has. Yeah, it's just it's the one that what's his name runs, the Earth Genasi guy.
Yeah.
He's in charge of that school. Can't remember his name. Anyway, but yeah, Felix is like, yeah, I grew up in the city, kind of lucked into getting a little bit of magical training as a kid, and then I lucked into getting a scholarship to the hall, and well, I learned a lot, that's for sure, but after a few years, I dropped out because I don't know, the environment wasn't great. It was pretty stifling creatively and full of snobs. And I didn't get along with some of the professors, so struck out on my own. And there are a lot of people who would like magical things done, but none of the official wizards are going to do for them because they're criminals. So I don't know. There was a niche that I could fill. And once I had some money, I could keep studying on my own. Yes. You've definitely posted the same one
Well,
for Antimony already, right?
yes.
Okay.
Because it's on my Pinterest board
Okay.
for Antimony.
Okay. I was like, I've seen this somewhere before. That's what it was, Pinterest. Yeah, he just kind of looks around at everyone like sort of expectantly waiting for you to say something else.
Yeah,
Aurelia
now we're all
is
listening.
yeah. Aurelia is also like looking at him sort of she has this kind of like sympathetic look on her face. Like she looks kind of sad also. But she's not saying anything.
How does Timony look?
Um, Probably kind of similar. Yeah, sort of been there, done that kind of deal, you know?
Man, wizards just have a terrible experience in this continent. Terrible.
Felix, have you considered making money through freelancing as a member of the Cobalt Soul? No,
Oh my god.
Hey, it worked for Ophelia's pet NPCs. Why not?
Oh my god. Yeah, well, they're not.
too late for that now.
Yeah, they're not already under arrest by the assembly.
Right.
I mean, I probably could have done something else after leaving. I had some skills. Could have done something legitimate, but wasn't really anything left for me back home, and crime paid a lot better.
He needed the cash to get the books.
That too. Books are. Do you know how expensive fucking high quality paper and ink is?
I've heard about it, yeah.
How much fucking incense I have to buy every month? Nope. I mean, none of you know that because none of you have the copy spell. This is like a wizard only problem.
Yeah.
Aurelia's nodding, like, yes, I do. I do know. She was like, I had to have an entire scholarship just for spell copying materials when I went to the Soldiers Academy. She doesn't say that, but that's what she's thinking.
This is why you gotta get an arcane focus, man.
Well, they still have to copy shit into their spell books.
That's true, yeah.
That's not really negotiable for wizards, unfortunately.
Imagine not just knowing spells.
Right?
Yeah.
Nope. He kind of looks around like, well, you guys got any other questions for me, or?
I mean, no, not really. Just kind of curious, considering we, sort of got you arrested.
I suppose you did. Well, can't really blame you. The whole thing with your mother was pretty rough. Probably would have done the same thing in your situation.
Well, I hope you can make some friends whose mother you didn't implicate in a crime and who didn't send you to prison.
So do I. Hopefully, I'll be able to make any friends at all where I'm headed.
God.
Oh boy. Look, I'm not going to say no, but
Someday.
someday.
Ooh.
Can't expect me to do nothing with that. uh, Aurelia's just like, you guys want some coffee or something?
Sure. Coffee would be lovely.
Okay. I think they have like a little pitcher of coffee or something, and she uh, warms it up a little bit with magic because it's gotten cold. What does she have? I'm sure she has like she has a lot of fire magic actually. She just like breathes on it super gently to warm it up. Okay, and you guys all
Right.
like awkwardly have coffee together. I don't know if you want to bring up any other topics of conversation.
Hmm. Oh, did she? She wasn't there when we opened the letter um,
The letter
from
to
Kazuya
Erland.
to Erland, but we talked about it later, so she
Yeah,
knows that we were suspecting.
she does. Yes, she knows about that. But yeah, she was not there when you actually opened the letter.
Um, and we haven't passed the. None of us have passed that on to any kind of legal authorities. That's just been talked about with her.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have said that to like. Yeah, I don't think so because that's not like really evidence.
Yeah,
It's just sort of a speculation. And Cassia also suspects the same person that you do.
yeah.
So she may bring it up. You don't really know if Cassia has talked about that to anyone besides Erland. But yeah, I don't think you said anything about Gitta to any authority figures except for Aurelia.
Yeah. Well, I thought of bringing it up, but I don't think I will.
All right.
I think that's something we should talk about, but maybe not with Aurelia. And
Actually, is Sia Crush still here in town? Probably, right?
Yeah, Aurelia had said that she left already
Okay.
because she had important shit to do, and the local authorities were like, okay, well now we have to like send a message to Rexentrum and get like an official cleric or something who is allowed to do this and get them down here to like supervise. So it's probably going to take a little while. But yeah, Crush like fucking bounced.
I couldn't hear anything, so I closed out.
Oh, can you hear me?
I heard that.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. I'm back. I can hear.
Yeah, Crush left. Is basically what. Is it really all that you missed? I think.
Yeah, we knew that because she even at dinner was like, "Well, I'm leaving."
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she is
She has
not.
stuff to do.
She has a lot to do. You can only assume.
She'll be so missed.
Yeah, Atacor's like, wow, so sad that she left already. I think after a while, if you guys don't really have any other like pressing questions for Aurelia, she's gonna say, I think might just head out now if you don't mind. She looks at all of you. She's like, I'm just gonna draw a circle on the floor.
We've seen teleportation because Elusus took us to Nicodranus.
Yes. Yeah. When Elusus took you to Nicodranus, I think he used the teleport spell, so he didn't.
Oh,
I don't think he took you to a circle. He just
Okay.
like dropped you guys in the city, right? Because he didn't take you to Yusa's tower, which I think is the circle he knows in Nicodranus. He just like teleported you guys to somewhere that he
Okay,
knew.
so
in
we've
town.
never seen someone draw a teleportation
Hey,
circle.
just one minute.
No, I don't think so. Hang on,
I gotta
Julia's
talk to you.
talking to me. Okay. Yeah, you guys have never seen anybody draw a teleportation circle. I don't think. I mean, okay, Ophelia, you've used a circle, like a one inscribed like into a location, but I don't know if you've ever like gone from a random place to a circle, if that makes sense. Because I think you've definitely traveled between the Cobalt Soul circles, but those are like permanent ones.
Do you mind if we stay and watch? I've never seen that.
No, I don't mind. You're gonna have to go stand on the edge of the room, though. I need some space.
All right.
Yeah, you guys.
Move some furniture aside.
Yeah, you have to move the furniture a little bit. Felix helps you guys move the stuff, and he also kind of stands on the edge of the room.
Mhm.
And yeah, really, it just like draws on the floor with chalk. And she says, "Don't worry, it's gonna all vanish when I cast the spell. There won't be anything on the floor for them to clean up." Um, but yeah, she draws this very beautiful, complicated circle design full of runes and things. You recognize some of them, probably Antimony, but I don't think the rest of you do.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when that's done, she's like, "All right, we got about 6 seconds."
Catch you on the.
She waves. Felix goes to stand on the circle with her, and then they both vanish, and all of the chalk drawing vanishes as well.
Well, that was something.
All right, so yeah, you're just alone in an empty room in the inn now. They took all their stuff with them. What would you guys like to do? Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no! You lost Anna. Hello?
Hello.
Are you there?
I am here.
Okay.
If it happens again, I'll move closer to the router. I'm going to.
Okay. All right, so anything in particular you guys would like to do?
Hmm. Chase her down. I don't know. What do we do? Show up at the and say we're on to you?
You also remember Aurelia saying that what's his name? The guy, forgetting every NPC named Petrov, had not confessed anything yet.
Yeah. Which, if he does confess, then he doesn't necessarily have a reason to keep anyone he Any of his co-conspirators protected, but if he doesn't confess, then who knows? I don't know. We could go down to the guild hall, see if she's there, and Ophelia could read her thoughts. It's not evidence, but I'm not hearing anybody again. Is that my connection or is
No,
there
I think
No, we're
we're
just
just
everyone's
kind of
just
like,
very quiet.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
Like, can't be too careful.
That's happened to me before where I didn't hear any of you saying anything and I was like, guys, and then nobody could hear me.
oh
Um,
Yeah. I don't have like a ton of stuff planned for if you guys want to try to go after Zimmerman, but you can do it. Like it's, you know, you are welcome to, but
and that's assuming we can talk to her without Antimony attacking her like a wild animal, which I know you want to do.
Oh my god.
And I'm not saying you wouldn't be right to.
no. But we have to approach this with some delicacy.
Well, we don't have evidence, is the thing. I don't even know for sure. It just seems a little too convenient that a note given to her went astray. But I mean, if someone sneaked in to steal Kazia's note paper, they could sneak in and steal a letter. So it's not conclusive. The way I see it, any information we got, it probably wouldn't be enough to Crownsguard with. It, it might be something Kazia would want to know.
That's true. Suppose it can't hurt to kind of feel around, so to speak.
Do you have that mind reading spell today?
I think you always have it.
Atacora doesn't know that.
From the feet, right? Okay. I was like,
Atacora doesn't know that.
Oh, Adakura.
Adakura knows she picks her spells every day. She was really mad when he stole her holy symbol, and she couldn't do that.
Yeah. God, I forgot about that.
Well, probably a bit early. If we show up there now, then we'll just be there. Maybe we show up closer to and walk Kazuya home, and then we have an excuse.
Sure, why not?
Sure. All right, back to the Silver Scatchel for more archery games. Who's with me?
Oh, can you go? Okay, sorry. I thought my sound had cut out. I did, yes. I did hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you guys, so you just want to like kill an afternoon until like just before dinner time, kind of.
Unless someone has a better idea.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, this is kind of like a wrap up ish session. Like, I don't have a ton of super specific things for you guys to do. So
That's okay. We can kind of like
I'm forcing you to decide things.
Well, I'm going to
Okay.
talk to people, but not this afternoon.
Okay.
This afternoon, I want to play some dumb game at
Right.
at a
Yeah,
casino.
you go to the casino. Um roll a straight dexterity check to see how well you do at archery games.
15.
Okay, yeah, you do pretty well. You make a little bit of money.
Yay.
You chat with the bartender and whoever else you knew.
Yes.
Are you guys also at the casino? Are you just watching Adakura play games?
probably, yeah.
I'm roping in Timonian because I think I can bully her. And Timonian has to play with me.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, make
And
a
you're not allowed to
dexterity
shoot at the
check.
targets with your cannon with legs. They won't let you do that in here.
Oh.
Just destroy the game. And you're like, you have to pay for this. Like, we're gonna
You
need
break
to buy a
even
new
between what you
game.
would have won and
Just like a straight dex, right?
Yeah.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you also win a little bit of money. You do better than you expected yourself to do.
I'm not at my peak without my cannon, but
Yeah.
I did my best.
Monophilia, you know you want to. That's some confidence. I thought you could cast be good at stuff magic on yourself. You cast be bad at stuff magic on me the last time we were here. Well, if you don't
Like,
think you can do it, I buy another drink for Ophelia.
okay. Okay, you guys have a very chill evening or chill afternoon at the casino. And then you head to the guild hall around the time that Cassia usually leaves work.
Is Gita around?
Um, okay, so when you come in, there's like a front desk person who recognizes at least like Antimony and Atacor probably. And it's like, oh, are you here to see are you here to see Cassia?
Yep.
All right. And she just like lets you through. You know where Cassia's office is.
Cool.
She's still there. If you go to Cassia's office, you can also like try to get his office. I don't think you would know right where it is, but um Cassia you could find pretty quickly. Is that what you guys want to go to talk to Cassia?
Well, we didn't really discuss if we wanted to talk to Gita and read her mind or just like observe her. So, what do you guys think?
Hmm. Well, maybe we could start by just kind of observing from a distance, you know? Don't want to give away that we're poking around too fast.
Sure. Is Kazi's office like door open and she's in there talking to anybody, or is she just
Um,
doing
I think her
things?
door's open a little bit. She's just in there working at her desk by herself. If you guys like come up to the door, she probably notices you.
Do we come up to the door, or is it worth looking around for Gita's office? Do you think?
I mean, I think we can look around, yeah.
Okay, one of you make an investigation check. Whoever feels like it.
I'll do it.
Mine is pretty good. Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
23.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, you actually and Tony, you remember that there is like a guild leader office. And since that's like a rotating elected position, whoever is the current guild leader gets like the big fancy office during their time in the job. So you're like, okay, I think the guild leader office is back this way, and you find it pretty quickly. It's not hard to miss, or it is. It's hard to miss. The door's closed, but I think there's a little window outside, and there's like a light coming from it. So you think it looks like there's probably someone in there.
Hmm. Can you read her mind through the door, or
If you, I mean, you could probably look in through the window and see her, but you'd have to get maybe a little close.
If she knows that Petrov is arrested, she might be thinking about it. I don't know. If you don't get anything, then we knock on the door and we bring it up. I don't know. Bring anything up. You say, "Hey, damn, that shit was crazy. Did you hear they arrested Petrov?" We met her at the wedding.
You did, yes. I mean, the at a Court and Timony, you guys had like seen her around. She's not super good friends with Cassia, but they've been working together for a long time. Gita is actually she's an elf. So she has been in the city for longer than Taito has. I don't know if she was born here, but I don't know. I'm not gonna like try to put elf time to all this. But she's been in the guild for a long time, longer than most people. So she's been here like longer than Cassia's entire life. And they've always gotten along pretty well, to your memory. Like, you don't remember Katsuya ever like talking shit about her.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, Ophelia, you saw her at the wedding. She was there. Okay, so you're going to just kind of peer through the window so that you can do detect thoughts. Oh.
Like a crazy
Yep.
person.
Like
It goes for a while, right? So if she's like, "Hey, someone peeing into my office," we can just open the door and keep going.
That's true.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that for some reason.
No, it's a minute. It's like
What's 10 minutes? Oh, that might be. Yeah.
yeah, and detect thoughts takes a long time to narrate it if Ophelia decides to do multiple people, because she can do like one person around.
Right. Yeah. Well, the point stands that if she sees you being creepy
Yeah.
in the window, we can just, okay, try to get your attention.
Yep. Okay, Ophelia, make a stealth check.
Guide yourself. Mm.
Okay. Oh, I should roll for this. Sorry, this is taking a while to load. But okay, I gotta plug my computer in. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry. Um, she does not seem to notice you. You look through the window and she's not like the desk isn't directly in front of the window. It's a little bit off to one side and she's looking down at her desk. It's like reading something. Okay. And you cast detect thought. All right. What's the saving throw for that? Is there a saving throw? Oh, that's right. Okay. I always forget how this works. Okay, so surface thoughts. Oof, I gotta. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's just like a different mechanism. If you run out of ways to do detect thoughts, you can turn to that. Oh, I see. Okay. So the saving throw is for suggestion if you decide to use it and also the mind reading. They do, that's true. Yes, she would probably notice if you cast suggestion on her. So it depends on how sneaky you're trying to be. I mean, yeah, like those spells like that, usually once they wear off, the target is aware that you tried to make them do something or that you made them do something. Um, okay. Okay, detect thought. Um, just roll me a d20 and tell me what you get. See if she's thinking anything useful to you at the moment. Wow. Okay. Okay, yeah. So for the first like couple rounds, she's basically she seems to be reading something. So you're basically just hearing like her reading it to herself in her head, right? And it's just it's a you don't even really understand quite what it is. Like it's full of very specific uh industry jargon. So you're like, okay, this means nothing to me at all. It's just like about quantities of things and like timetables and specific mining techniques, like shit like that. You're like, okay, this is useless to me. And then she finishes reading it. She puts it down, and then she stands up, and I think she has a window in her office. She doesn't look at you, but she goes and like looks out the window, and is just staring out at the street and sort of tapping her fingers on the windowsill and thinking about her thoughts turn to Petrov Sauer, who has recently been arrested. She thinks about how she heard about it this morning. Um, how she is surprised that he was apprehended so quickly. She wasn't expecting that. She thinks about how it was um it was his idea to send word to the assembly so that somebody would find Felix. And then the Felix trail would lead them to just Cassia. But that backfired because the assembly person turned out to be more competent than they were expecting, and also had help from Cassia's children visiting for the wedding. But nobody could have predicted that. Yeah, she's just kind of mulling this over in her mind, like thinking about Petrov miscalculated all of this. And that's probably about where it ends. Okay.
Oh. Well, that's as pretty a confirmation as anything we could have gotten.
Oh my god.
You say that? You could, and we would
You
just
could just-
believe you.
Make shit up. Wow. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from her doorway. I don't want to be caught just lurking outside her office if we're not
Okay.
going to talk to her. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like we need to, so.
Okay, so you guys head back in the other direction.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to Cassia's office, or are you just going to leave?
Probably hang around Cassia's office until she's ready to go.
Yeah, probably looks less suspicious that way.
Probably. Okay, so yeah, you.
Yeah. Also, I actually couldn't tell her about that. She should know.
Okay.
I mean, not in the building. I don't want to tell her, but waiting around
Sure.
for her.
Okay, yeah, you approach her office. Has stood up at this point and is packing up her things. And the door's open a little bit, so she looks up and sees you, as she's putting stuff in her bag. Oh, what are you all doing here? Is everything all right?
Yeah. We're just here to walk you back and talk about some things.
All right.
That would be.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. She's like, okay, sure.
I have faith in Kazia's ability to restrain herself if she has this information.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys head out of the building with Cassia. You start walking home. Once you guys are kind of out away from the building, she's like, "All right, what's going on?"
Uh, so you know how know who um got into your office and gave got the paper to give Felix that note. I assume she knows all these details now. We've told her about this.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Because she's the one who like suspected Zimmerman. Also, like she kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah. But I'm
Oh, but
assuming
yeah.
we told her like about that we investigated that we hadn't told her
Oh,
already.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think we covered that.
Yeah,
previous.
you told her that all at least yesterday for sure.
Yeah.
You like told her everything that you weren't supposed to tell her before.
Yeah.
Um.
What I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She's like, yes.
Uh, I'm sure you uh, your own suspicions.
I do.
So we were wandering around, and Ophelia can read minds.
She looks a little alarmed at that.
What else am I gonna say?
She's like, oh.
And I'll let Ophelia tell her.
Cassia is looking at you expectantly, Ophelia. Okay.
She'll tell her that they're banging.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cassia's like, she looks, yeah, you don't know that they're not banging. There was
Elsa knows
nothing about, nothing about that in the surface thoughts. Okay, yeah, Cassia just sort of nods as you talk to her. She looks a little bit upset, but also kind of resigned. Well, I can't pretend I wasn't expecting that.
I'm sorry we didn't get any evidence on her, but
I don't
the
think.
more you know, the more careful you can be. So
Yes, it's good to know for sure. I don't think she'll have left any physical evidence, or at least she'll have deal with all of that. Um, I don't know. I'm sure Petrov will start talking to the guards at some point. Maybe, well, it's possible he'll give up the name of his accomplice in exchange for, I don't know, less time in prison, something like that. We'll just have to see how it goes.
yeah.
Oh, we're going to have another guild election. Those things are exhausting.
You should run.
I think Taito's going to drag me out of the city as soon as he possibly can. So I may not have a chance to campaign.
Well, that's not a bad idea either.
It's not. He's right. I just hate to leave with any of this unresolved. I mean, people would have died if you hadn't shown up when you did at the mine, I mean.
Well, if it helps, I don't think it's your responsibility to fix it all.
It's not, but I am very angry about it. I guess this makes me feel like I'm doing something with that anger.
Anger is good. Anger got Petrov arrested. We're just glad you're all right. So safe. Whatever else you do.
She smiles at all of you. Thank you again for all your help. Just when you go back to the capital and the Cobalt Soul, I'm sure you're going to be running into danger, just like you did while you were here, but try to be careful.
We will try.
We keep saying this, but we always try.
I know I'm just repeating myself, but I can't help worrying about you.
Well, you will be able to go on worrying about us for the rest of your days, and we'll be grateful for it.
I'm going to hold you to that. Um, yeah, she like puts her arm through Timothy's arm as you guys are walking. Do you just go back to the house with her?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's about dinner time. Taito would is going to ask you if you learned anything about Petrov's arrest. Anything interesting?
Um, just that it happened. Well, when it happened, custody.
And he is maintaining his innocence, but I don't know if anyone's gonna buy it.
Yeah. Well, I'll let Kasia pass on any additional information about our mind reading escapades if she feels like it. But maybe
Yeah,
not in front of the
she
grandparents.
right. Yeah, she doesn't say anything about it at dinner. Um,
But yeah, just the fact that the arrest happened and they're
yes,
keeping him in custody is
yes, he
good
is.
news.
Yeah, he is not being let out. The testimony against him was pretty damning, especially with like the magical confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty major. So yeah, he's probably not going to get out of this one easily.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do tonight in this game night?
I assume we're gonna want to talk about when we're leaving.
Yeah, probably.
Are you bringing that up to all of us?
Okay, yeah, you guys can like hang out in one of the bedrooms and talk about all of this.
Um, you've been so brave. We should probably leave tomorrow. I'm the one who would have to drive the cart for most of the night, so I'm going to say no. Um,
Oh my god.
well, maybe Howard. I don't want to drive the cart all night. Also, I don't know if anyone had. I don't know why about this. Um, Antimony, do you want to talk to Osa before?
Oh, yeah, I um should probably say goodbye before we leave.
So, we could do that on the way out of town, or if you wanted to, I don't know, there's time tonight. It's not that late.
Oh god.
Oh man.
I'm not planning the details for you. I'm just saying, take the time you need.
You're probably also going to want to tell Corey when you're leaving town.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
I
true.
had thought of that. We haven't decided when yet.
Yeah. But I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
if you
it's what? It's an 8-hour trip. Yes.
yeah, about.
So we could leave, around lunchtime and still get there before, after dark, but too late. If we wanted to take the morning to gather people, say whatever. All right. Let's plan on that then. Yeah. Figure out where to meet us. they know where the house is, but if we're gonna go through town on the way out, it's kind of a dick move to make them walk here. You do what you want. It's your sending spell. It honestly,
Um, they are probably going to want to come a few days later. I will just tell you that. They have some stuff to wrap up in town. Yeah, but if you like tell them that you're leaving tomorrow, they'll be like, okay, can we meet? Can we just like show up at the Koboldsel in 2 days or something? Okay. Which one of them would you message? Okay, yeah, you can message Corey and be like, hey, we're leaving tomorrow, and she's like, oh, is it okay if we take a little more time? Yeah, she's like,
well,
I
we can
want
stay
to.
here longer.
Yeah, she wants to come to the city. She's pretty sure Victor is going to at least like travel there with her, whether he stays or not. Hard to say, but she's like, "Will can we come like 2 days behind you?"
Did they know where to find it?
The Cobalt Soul, they could probably find it.
Okay.
Just ask around, be like, "Where's the
Sure.
giant? Where's the giant library with the monks?"
Okay. They live in a town with a main street. That's all I'm saying.
God, that's true.
It's true.
God, that's
And you
very-
will.
extremely true.
That is the kind of thing you will do if they give you the chance.
Okay, so you made a plan with Corey and Victor. Anyone else you would like to talk to tonight who is not here?
Are you thinking of sending to?
Yeah, you can message Felix if you wanted. You can message Torkel, tell him you're coming back. Or not, you could just show up.
Just spring it on him.
Yeah. His most chaotic student is returning. God, I love sending. Okay. Uh, okay, yeah, you hear it's like not super late yet, so he's probably not asleep. Like, hello, Ophelia. I am alive and still untortured. Met Aurelia's boss. She's weird. Not sure what's going to happen yet. Okay. Okay, yeah, he just replies, "Oh, good. Good to know. It'll be good to see you again. I hope everything is all right in Druvenlode." My God. Boy, who's it gonna be?
Um, we talked to Metis a few weeks and then never followed up on that, which was weird.
Oh my God, when was that? I have to
It was
look
a
that
while
up.
ago. But
I have no memory of this.
I don't think it was on the way. No, it was after we got to Druvenlode. Because that's why I wanted to do it.
You called Metis after you got to Druvenlode?
I think so.
Were you guys all there, or was it just Ophelia?
If I recall correctly, it was Atakora's idea.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you have a note of like what session this happened in?
I'm trying to find it. Based
'Cause
on my memory that it happened after we got there.
Okay.
Which might
I-
be faulty.
I remember you guys messaging Sahar and Ishel, but for some reason I can't remember Metis. Let's see, I can.
Gel was definitely Ophelia's idea, and that was
Yeah.
a lot earlier.
Yeah, that was when
Sahar-
you were coming back from Visayas Teal.
Yeah,
Sahar
I
was
was just very confused
a
about
while
it.
ago also.
Yeah, I think Sahar was you guys had come back because you asked Torkel to find out about her, the guy that she attacked,
Yeah.
and then you told her that he was not dead.
Um, let me see.
Ophelia, do you remember this? Okay. But you remember sending to Metis. Okay. I'm looking through notes.
Hmm. Okay. It's at the end of my notes for session 45, so probably toward the end.
Okay.
And it was the day of the wedding.
Oh,
Incredible. Incredible. Okay. Let's see.
Here's what I wrote. Metis remembers Ophelia vaguely. Still in Rexentrum. She's been in the same building for a while. She wanted to tell Evan she's alive, which Ophelia did. And then she didn't say anything about whether she found her mom, had any idea what was going
Okay.
on with her, any of that. But Evander knows that she's alive, and he said that he hadn't had any trouble, and he wants to know if we talk to Metis again. So that's what happened, and it was in
Okay.
session 45 on February 5th.
Man, I gotta listen to that again because I do not remember this. Okay. Okay, I might ask that you wait one more session before calling Metis again because I don't know what she's doing right now. I
You
haven't
can call
figured it out.
Sahar. Sahar's chilling. Just for fun. How's Sahar doing? I don't know that you've already talked to Hannelore, so I don't know what to suggest
That's
it.
true.
I have no idea. Adakora is not suggesting Hannelore.
Amazing.
Who else have we talked to? What other friends do we have?
Eleni?
We could talk to
Yeah.
Eleni.
Eleni. Yeah, I got it. Elo is the kobold.
Oh, our kobold friend.
The leader guy.
Aw. Yeah.
Ophelia's roommates.
Elo and his polycule. Elusis.
Michelle, I guess. Yeah, Elusis, Ithra.
Elusis and Ithra. You could talk to my mom, but you got all the way out here and I had to talk to my dad, so I'm sure you don't want to do that.
That's so true. Just message Kalina. Like, how's it going?
Any of the kids from Blumenthal that we met, you could message.
Oh my god, true.
You could ask Kristoff how his love life is.
Oh my god.
Ask her boyfriends.
Could call Ingrid. Like, did you kill anything interesting recently?
You totally could. That dryad that we met, but she might
Oh
be
my
back in
God.
the Feywild. So
That's very
then
possible.
it wouldn't reach her.
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
can it?
Yeah, there's a chance it fails, I think.
There's a chance it fails. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so you could try to contact that random dryad. You could do that assassin that got away.
Oh my god, the Goliath. The Goliath woman. Oh, you could
Oh,
message
that.
the hot bounty hunter.
Message the hot bounty hunter.
Oh wow, the woman who really affected Adakora's dress style. for the rest of this
Yeah,
campaign.
I got a whole other coat because of her.
Yes.
Which was a great decision, by the way. I've never once regretted it.
You could message redacted character from your backstory. Another time.
I imagine. And Timothy and I are just listing off every person we've ever met. Or like you could do this person, this person,
Yeah.
this person. And Ophelia's like, don't fuck up and message my parents. Don't fuck up.
We could message Clef Tinkertop. We met him
Oh my
briefly.
god,
That
you
is
could.
so true.
Wow. You really could. You could message Ludinus if you wanted to.
Just be like, bitch. Who is this?
Just prank call Ludinus to let.
I mean, you
Oh my
can.
god. That's so true.
Well, we're leaving town, and
Yeah. And he may not remember you.
just pretend to be a ghost. Pretend to be his conscience.
I don't think you talked in front of him very much, knowing Ophelia. Yes. All right, what do you say? God. Oh my god. uh it's quiet for a second and then you hear like a gasp. who who said that? Who's there? That's all.
Well, we'll definitely do that on the way out of town.
It's like become wanted in Druvenload as you leave. I think he already is.
Hmm.
True. He did sound very freaked out when he replied.
And I assume Ophelia will be satisfied. Good. The cleric deserves it of terrifying other people.
As a treat. Okay. Anything else before you all go to bed?
Don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right.
I will linger for a moment on the way out, and, well, unless we're in a different room, I will give Tim a hug.
Yeah, you can be in her room, we'll say.
Yeah.
In Timmy's old room.
You gonna recover
Um,
from the week from hell, you think?
I think so. I mean, still some loose ends, but I guess we basically tied it up. Another problem solved by our brilliant detective work? Question mark.
Well, at the very least, Mom is not So
Yes. That's
So
that's
you
a big
did good.
plus.
All right. Try not to stress. Sure, she can handle herself from here.
Yeah, I mean, from here it's probably mostly, you know, guild politics, which is kind of what she's good at. So,
Thank God we are not in her shoes.
yeah,
All right. Well, good night to you and Felix Jr.
and Felix Jr.
I will go to bed.
All right. Adacor, when you go, if you just kind of go back to your room to hang out,
Mhm.
after a couple of hours, you haven't started trancing yet, but it's like getting pretty late. You hear sound from the stone.
I will answer it. Answer the phone.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, I think. Petrov hasn't confessed yet, but he's still in custody.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the whole thing is going to be a big headache for everyone involved, given how rich and important he is, but at least they arrested him.
It's something. And if nothing else, Kazuya is not arrested. It's just saying that.
Good. Are you are you coming back soon?
We're leaving tomorrow. How was the trip back?
It was fine. No problems.
Good.
I spent most of today filling everybody, well, mostly Amelia, in on all the stuff that happened in Druvenlode. So that was interesting.
Oh, like they didn't already know all my family gossip.
Well, they were more interested in the allegations that Petrov was working with the Myriad.
Yeah. It'll be interesting if they get that out of him.
Well, if the Crownsguard don't, we will eventually. I don't really have anything else to tell you. I just wanted to see if you'd decided when you were coming back yet.
Yeah. We should be back late tomorrow.
All right. Well, have a good trip then.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
I'll let you know when I'm back.
Thanks. She hangs up.
We'll put the stone away in trance.
Okay.
Worse. Terrible.
Okay. On unless anyone has anything quick they would like to do, I think I will end this session. If that is all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Thanks.
solved another one, boys.
You did it. Yeah, hopefully we can